is an epidemic.
We complain about the younger generation a lot. They don't listen, they're soft, they don't respect structure. But here's the real question. Who built the structure and where's the guidance?
First of all, how do we impact those who've had to overcome the most with the least? If you want to impact the community, it's not about you.
Okay.
You had your time. You went through undergrad. You was that man on the yard. You played ball. You did this and that. But it's not about you. You've lived enough experiences where you have wisdom. And King Solomon said that wisdom is more precious than gold. But it's not wisdom if you die with it.
Welcome to The Authentic Exchange, where we believe that stories have power to shift the perspective, restore agency, and remind you that you're not navigating life alone.
Authentic exchange, where the vibes gon' flow. Truth on the table, let the real one show.
At some point, every generation has to decide, are we going to criticize what we see, or are we going to build something better? My guest today is Danny White, best-selling author, motivational speaker, consultant, ed tech entrepreneur, and now doctoral student. But titles don't really capture what he's building. Danny is on a mission to rebrand the L, to redefine what it means to take a loss, to experience adversity and rise from it with intention instead of shame. He's the founder of Elevate Academy, a digital mentorship curriculum built around what he calls the 5 G's of growth, gratitude, grace, generosity, grit, and grind, designed to strengthen mental resilience, social emotional intelligence, and long-term success across generations. Today, we're talking about why he believes mentorship has to evolve and what responsibility looks like when you decide to build instead of just speak. Danny White, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Josh. Thank you for having me.
I'm definitely a fan. I'm excited to have you here. You are an author.
Yes, sir.
And the name of your book is Take This L.
Take this L. That's correct.
So can you tell me a little bit about your story? You no doubt have had your share of losses.
Sure.
And moments that have shaped the man that I see and that sits before me today.
Sure.
What early experience helped you get here?
Sure. Well, a little bit about the book. The subtitle of the book is The Modern Guide to Find Lessons in Your Losses, Transformation in Your Troubles, and Purpose in Your Pain. I wrote the book. We get a lot of motivation from my mama.
Absolutely.
My mama told me, Josh, she said, baby, everybody sees your glory, but it's time for you to tell the story.
All right.
And really what she was saying is that she didn't want people to get the wrong idea that, the successes that I had in my life didn't come with some losses. And having been a football player, I understand most teams don't go through the season undefeated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the NFL, there's only been one perfect season, the Miami Dolphins. I think 71 or 72 Dolphins. But even some of the greatest teams we've known, even the Seattle Seahawks who just won, they didn't go undefeated. And it's really important that we express to young people that you're not going to go through life undefeated. There's going to be a series of peaks. There's going to be a series of valleys. And you actually grow more in the valley.
Okay.
If you think about, geographically, there's nothing that grows on the top of a mountaintop. There's ice, there's lack of oxygen. Nothing really grows there. But in the valley, there's green grass, there's fertile lands, and you grow. And I think Iyanla Vanzant actually wrote a book years ago called The Valley in the Valley.
Okay.
Right? And so those were some of my motivations in writing the book, was to share some of my personal losses that actually helped me become what I ended up becoming.
Okay.
Because when I was going through some of those losses, it didn't feel like I was winning. They felt like losses. But as we look back over our lives, and as I look back over my life, I understood just how impactful they were. So that's why I wrote the book.
So can you tell me,
Sure.
just take one lesson from the book, man, one of the losses that really resonated, what really created some character, really kind of sparked, a level of growth. Because I'm imagining that in the process of creating the book, you had to look back and think back over your life. And there's some losses that you probably forgot. That got recalled to your memory. Is there anything for those who have not read the book yet that you can share that really kind of inspired you to start move forward?
Yeah, one of my biggest losses early in my adult life. I had graduated from college. Graduated from high school. I had a lot of academic scholarships. Could go literally to anywhere I wanted to go. In the country, Harvard, Yale, Stanford. But I ultimately chose West Point.
Okay.
I wanted to go somewhere that had very rigorous academics, that also was a Division I football team, and I could actually do both, right? So I chose to go to West Point, and boy, did I didn't quite understand just how hard it was going to be. I said I wanted rigorous academics, but oh my, right? It was very difficult. So I go through my West Point career, and I get to 90 days before graduation.
Okay.
And found out my girlfriend back home is pregnant. I tell my tactical officer that, my girlfriend's pregnant. I just want to give you a heads up just in case you hear. I want you to hear about it from nobody but me, He's supposed to be my mentor. And I thought he was going to let me cry on his shoulder.
What happened?
He locked me up at attention for about an hour, man.
Oh, wow.
And really ripped into me and said, if you give me the opportunity, I'm going to run you out of here.
Oh, wow.
That was kind of my expression, too. Like, I'm a senior. I'm about to graduate. Make a long story short, he gave me an F for my military grade. He called it conduct unbecoming an officer. I was so reckless that I would get my girlfriend back home pregnant. And they ultimately gave me something that, had really never been done at West Point at the time. They basically said because I got an F in my military grade. First of all, at West Point you get 3 grades. You get your academic grade, your athletic grade, and a military grade. But because he gave me an F for my military grade for that first semester, which basically meant I was going to have to repeat my senior year.
Wow.
So his boss didn't like how things were going, but he told me, he said, hey, you know what? I'm going to put in your orders. You have the option to come back. It's an option to come back. I was so hurt that I couldn't graduate. I wasn't going to be able to graduate on time with my family, really, which is your class. At West Point, your class, they build you, first of all, they break you down really well, but they build you up to be a cohesive unit.
Okay.
And I wanted to graduate with my class. So I was distraught having got that close and was not going to be able to graduate with my class. So here I am in February, about to graduate in May, and get sent home. So I went home, and the emotion I had was shame, because I was the local boy made good. Before I went to school, I was all on the news, and one of our own is going to West Point. And here I am coming home, not because I failed out, not because I washed out physically, but something that I didn't see coming. So it was absolutely devastating to me. Fell into depression, fell into anxiety, but God had a gift waiting on me at home.
Amen for that. Amen for that. So understanding that sets the backdrop of, you writing the book. You've experienced it. So you're well versed in overcoming obstacles. You're well versed in, triumphing when you have challenging situations. And so now you're in a completely different season of life.
Yes.
Doctoral program.
Sure.
You're at the University of Miami.
Yes, sir.
You're building tech infrastructure. Take me back. What early mentors shaped the way you begin to think about growth and maybe even development?
Sure. A few. First of all, my stepdad.
Okay.
Right, my stepdad came into my life when I was about 7 years old. And I was bad. I come from humble beginnings, and I was not indifferent than anybody else in the hood. But my dad was one of these people who had, he was a product of the civil rights movement, and believed in black empowerment. We always had an Ebony magazine.
Okay.
Every month we had a Jet magazine on the coffee table every week. Shout out to page 43, if you know, you know. And he was always reading something. You know? Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich was always on the coffee table, you know. And he was real hard on me. He was a person that he said, hey, it didn't matter if I didn't have homework or not. I had to bring home a book every day. Oh, wow. Okay. And do work and homework every day. And he really was like, his idea was, if you do what everybody else does, you're gonna be average. Okay. But if you expect extraordinary results, you have to be extraordinary. You put extraordinary effort, right? Okay. And so he was very impactful. But on the technology side, we didn't call it technology at the time, but TV had a big impact. You know, I grew up in a generation where we were the first generation with cable TV. All right. We grew up with NBC and the Cosby Show. Thinking back on it now that I'm in my doctoral program, we are learning about something called cognitive apprenticeship. Okay. We're learning how people learn, and some people learn out of a textbook, but most people learn by seeing. Okay. That's where, like electricians, you have a journeyman, you have an apprentice, and the apprentice is learning how to do things from his mentor by watching them. When I look back over my life, I understand just how important the Cosby Show was to me. Okay. My parents were blue collar. My mom was a seamstress in a factory. My dad was assistant manager of a Wendy's franchise. They were blue collar people. They worked hard, you know. But the Cosby Show, for me, was the first time I actually saw, you know, what white collar could look like. Okay. Cliff was a doctor. Claire was a lawyer. You had Rudy. You had Vanessa, Theo, Denise, Sandra, and we watched them grow up and navigate life, right, at different points of their life. But it gave me something to aspire to. Okay. Right? And so I think back to how impactful technology, in this case TV, was to model, right? Me as an apprentice, me being a young kid, to be able to see what was possible. And ultimately, I grew up and, you know, got married, had my own family of Theos and Joshes and kids and, you know, that type of thing. They all went to college. They all graduated from college. And, you know, so I lived the Cosby lifestyle only, I believe, because I saw it first. Okay. So I realized just how important it is for everyone to have a positive construct that they can see, that they can aspire to. But what's also important is representation. Okay. It's important that you see somebody that looks like you. All right. And that's what the Cosby Show did for me.
Wonderful. I think about that, and I agree with you. Representation absolutely matters. And, you know, for young people, being able to see the example, it is extremely powerful. Sure. Because it helped you to dream a little bit, is what it sounds like. It helped you to imagine yourself, like you said, aspire to the white collar, to more than what a lot of children get born into. Sure. You know, and I'm sure you realize as you were seeing things, you know, the Cosby Show had tons of different lessons. Personal growth and development. Sure. You know,
Theo in his shirt.
Yes, sir. Yeah. When did you make a decision to start working on your personal growth and development? I'm sure you probably had different phases. You,
Sure.
Of course, being a West Point individual, man.
Sure.
Of course, they're going to have a personal level of development. But as you get out into life and you start living, what did that personal development look like?
Sure. I think I can go even further back. I think high school football.
Okay.
I started off in the band because that's where the girls were.
All right.
Right. But then I realized that the girls was cheering for the boys on the football team. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm in the wrong place. So I remember my sophomore year, my 10th grade year, I looked at my friend Desmond Ruffin. I told Desmond, I said, I'm playing football next year. He's like, man, you crazy. You can't make the football team. Our football team is really good.
Okay.
Here I am with this saxophone going, I'm going to play football next year. So I wanted to play football, and I remember going out for football, didn't know what position I was going to play. I looked at the depth chart because I'm an analytical guy. I looked at the depth chart and tried to figure out what I could go out for to actually make the team. So I went out for fullback. I make the first cut, and we're practicing in fall practice. And I remember the coach pulling me to the side. It was one of my impactful conversations. He said, White, you're a big kid, He said, I think we pulled your grades. You're a smart kid. I said, Coach, don't nobody know that. He said, I know. But we pulled your grades. You're smart. He said, I think you're being too analytical. He said, you're running about 3/4 speed because I think you're trying to figure out who you need to block. And you're trying to be perfect about hitting the right person. I'm like, yes, sir, Coach. That's exactly what's happening. Because, I didn't study the playbook because I'm trying to make the team. I'm trying to make sure I get it right. And he says, I don't want you to think about that.
Okay.
I said, what do you mean, Coach? He says, I don't want you worried about trying to hit the right person. He said, I just want you to hit somebody hard. He said, matter of fact, I want you to knock somebody down every play.
Okay.
He said, if you knock somebody down every play, I said, you're not going to get mad, Coach? If I hit the wrong person? He said, if you hit somebody every play and knock them down, I will never yell at you ever again. That was my Bobby Boucher moment.
Right? Sounds
so
like it.
I said, so I started running full speed, and whoever showed up just got knocked out. Sometimes it was my person, sometimes it was their person, sometimes it was an inside backer, sometimes an outside backer. But it freed me because he was right. I was trying to be perfect instead of me being explosive, instead of me being impactful.
Okay.
Right? That led to me even in my Christian walk. I had a very similar, conversation with God. God said, you're trying to be perfect. Don't be perfect. Hit somebody. I said, Lord, what if I hit the wrong person? He said, hit somebody. He said, my grace is sufficient. My power is made perfect in weakness. So I endeavored early in my life to live life full speed. That you're going to make mistakes.
Okay.
Mistakes are absolutely part of the process. But if you're not impactful, then you haven't impacted anything. And that became my brand in corporate life and helped me grow from promotion to promotion because at the end of the day, especially in sales, numbers matter.
Okay. So
when I got in corporate America and I got into sales, right, I mean, I got the paperwork right, but I sold it.
Yeah.
I'd go back and tell my boss, I was like, I don't know if I designed this system right, but I got the check. I got the PO. He was like, we'll figure out the paperwork. And that kind of became my brand because of the loss from West Point and having gotten so close, I started learning how to never let up. So over 30 years, that's how I went from sales rep to CEO, was taking those hits along the way. Took a lot of L's along the way.
It sounds like it.
But I stayed true to that lesson, man. Hit somebody.
Well, I'm curious now. So you learned to hit somebody, to move at full speed and to become an impactful individual. Right? When did you make the decision to make that impact transferable?
Well, I realized lessons from West Point, that's what leadership is.
Okay.
If you're a Bible scholar, that's what Jesus tried to do. Jesus in the Great Commission said, I want you to go make disciples. I want you to replicate me.
Okay.
Using a sports analogy we always argue about, Jordan and LeBron. Jordan became Jordan when he started replicating himself. Mm-hmm. When he duplicated himself into Scottie Pippen, when Scottie Pippen started wearing his shoes, chewing the gum, wearing the wristband, exactly, playing defense, playing that same level of intensity, having that same attention to detail that Jordan did, oh, he come to championships. So I learned if I was going to be a great, impactful leader, I couldn't just be a great individual contributor. I had to be able to build teams.
Okay.
And I figured out real early I wasn't very good at firing.
Okay.
So just like a bat who can't see, you become really good at smell and sense. So because I wasn't a good firer, I developed a great sense of how to hire.
Okay.
I started figuring out how to build a team of winners.
Okay.
And I'll give you a cheat code. One interview question I would ask everybody in every interview in almost 30 years, I would say, tell me something you've won. Matter of fact, bring it to the interview.
Okay. That had to be interesting.
State champion, sprinter, cross country. You might have been a #1 Girl Scout cookie seller. I didn't care. But what I realized when they brought it to the interview, number one, they would open up.
Okay.
And I would say, well, tell me about how you the #1 Girl Scout cookie seller. And they would relax and tell me. But one of the things I realized is that winners don't just show up one day.
Okay.
They have a track record of winning.
So with that being said, you being able to, I'm going to say, duplicate yourself in your leadership and being able to look for individuals that had some of those characteristics, some of those traits. How do we transfer that to the young men and women that we see that don't have guidance today, that need to understand resilience? What are some of the different patterns and the things that you've seen across the generations when you look back? Because they need to be coached. They need to be taught how to win, how to overcome the adversities.
Well, I'll tell you about the journey. So, as you said earlier, I wrote the book. The book became a national bestseller. But almost immediately after I wrote the book, I realized the book was static.
Okay.
The book is a document that requires you as the reader to come meet it. And I realized in order for anything to be effective, I had to build something that could see you, that could meet you where you are.
Okay.
There's a term the Zulu people use when they see you in the morning. There's a greeting. If you and I were walking down a path in the Zulu tribe, when I see you, I would say Sawubona.
Sawubona.
Sawubona literally means I see you.
Okay.
You would respond Sakona. Sakona literally means because you see me, you brought me into life.
Okay.
So it's much deeper than just saying, what's up, bro? It's like I see you. And I realize there emotionally, there's something different as a leader when you can see a team member.
Okay.
I realized me being a team member, how I responded to leaders who I felt like saw me.
Okay.
Who got me, who understood me, who met me where I was, right? And so I immediately wanted to take the book and make something that was relatable, that had Sawubona in its foundation. Long story short, I took the 13 chapters of the book. I said, that's too long. I need to shorten it down to the 5 G's, as you said, gratitude, grace, generosity, grit, grind, package it up. And the first thing I did was write a curriculum, but it was static too.
Okay.
Then I started working with AI, and I realized how AI was helping me navigate building the curriculum, how it was encouraging me. And I said, wait a minute, why don't I just use this as a digital mentorship program?
Okay. And
that was kind of the leap, right? And I've been working with school superintendents and college presidents for 30 years.
Okay.
One of my very first clients was Chicago Public Schools.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Back in 1996, 97, right? And one of my last schools I worked with a lot was Georgia Tech here in Atlanta, where I went to school. FAMU, Jackson State, Clark Atlanta. So I've been working with schools a lot and getting into and understanding when you sell to a school, schools are very complex organizations.
Okay.
There's all these different personas, you know, and I would give them names. Security Sam.
Okay.
Facility Frank. President Paul. And I would coach my team. You have to make sure you cater your message to the persona that you're speaking to.
Okay.
So when you're talking to a superintendent, you need to understand what keeps them up at night.
Okay.
And so as I started trying to take what we're building to superintendents, understand from a superintendent perspective, when you talk about mentorship to them, in their eyes, there's three big problems.
Okay.
Number one, coverage.
Okay.
The demand for mentors far outstrips the supply of mentors.
Okay.
So even if you have great organizations, which I know a lot of people over in Big Brothers Big Sisters,
Yeah.
you got the Divine Nine, you got a lot of mentoring groups. But if you're a superintendent of, let's say, Gwinnett County Schools, it's 173,000 kids.
Oh, wow. It's quite a lot.
How do you ensure you have 173,000 mentors?
It sounds virtually impossible.
Well, that's one of the things. That was one of the variables.
Okay.
I'm an engineer. I went to 2 engineering schools, so I'm thinking as an engineer. That's one variable.
Okay.
Coverage. The other problem with mentors is consistency.
Okay.
How do we make sure that even if I had 173,000 mentors, how do I ensure that they're meeting with their apprentice consistently enough to where it's going to have an impact?
Okay.
How does the mentor run full speed? Right? And the third variable is, we just talked about it with Sawubona. How do I understand it if they're culturally relevant?
Okay. Because that seems like that's foundational to me.
So you can't have 173,000 mentors and they all look one way, where you've got this diverse group of students.
Yeah.
You know, some black, some white, some Hispanic, some Jewish. Forget race, some neurodivergent.
Yeah.
Some special needs.
Yeah.
LBGT. I mean, you've got all.
Got a gamut.
Right. So I started there and said, how do I solve for these three important variables? And I said, technology's got to be a part of it.
Okay.
Much like the Cosby Show and TV was technology for me. AI.
Okay.
I ran full speed, Josh. You know this. I became a subject matter expert at AI. I am in the top 1% of ChatGPT users globally.
Okay. Huh.
I went full speed, learned how AI works, prompt engineering, how to put up safeguards. I went full bore, like a fullback would. Fullback running through the A gap. I went full bore in the AI and learned how, number one, what was possible.
Okay.
And then I went to build mode and actually built it.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say about 2 weeks ago, we launched our very first pilot for a school district in Montgomery Public Schools.
Congratulations.
Montgomery, Alabama. Praise God. But hopefully this is the beginning, right? And I'm blessed enough to have the app and, you know, this platform, Life Be Lifing is the name of the platform, be my dissertation.
Okay.
What I'm using, so I'm learning about how we learn and applying this. Currently about 30 different learning theories that we built into the app. So it's not just AI.
Okay.
I've taken my doctoral studies and applied 30 to the AI agents that work, who are the real digital mentors. They've got instructions based on these 30 learning theories on how to help the students navigate as life be lifing. We talked about how Claire and Cliff helped us navigate, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what we built in the AI world. And so, again, being a fullback, I'm trying to impact. We're looking for how do we impact those. First of all, how do we impact those who've had to overcome the most with the least? Right? People like myself grew up, mom had me when she was 16 years old, grew up in humble beginnings, long before there was a a term called YN. I was YN. A bad one too, you know. But nobody's coming to help.
Okay.
If we don't.
Amen. It
right?
starts with us.
It starts with us, right? So I struggle with that. Like, God, you chose me to go build this? Like, you know, right? I mean, I was dealing with, hold on, I thought I was retired. Now here I'm picking up this mantle to go impact the community. But what I realized, Josh, is that I've been blessed enough to accomplish everything I dreamed of. You know, I want to, like Claire and Cliff, I want the house, I want the car, I want the family. I've been able to do all those things, but now I'm like in bonus territory with the Lord. The Lord said, okay, here's some stuff that you didn't even dream that you was going to be able to do that I want you to go do for me. Okay. And so I've realized that when your profession, your passion, and your persistence all align, you can make an impact, right? And so I'm able to use a lot of the things that I've learned professionally, what I've been passionate about. You know, I've been a mentor a long time. I coached AAU basketball for 25 years, but I was having a small amount of impact. Okay. I'm impacting the kids that are on my team. Maybe the kids are in a couple other teams and you know, other things like that. But how do we impact youth across the nation? Yeah. And that's where we are.
So that brings me to this question.
Sure.
What made you choose an app as the way to deliver this impact?
It needed to be dynamic.
Okay.
The book was great. And books are great. I love books. But they're static, just like any other curriculum. Remember the word problems we used to get back in the day?
Yes, sir.
If Mary had 3 apples, she gave John 2. Well, that wasn't necessarily relevant to me. Like, we didn't give away fruit in the hood.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? At free lunch, we may trade my juice for your milk or my fruit for your sandwich. It wasn't culturally relevant. Okay. And it couldn't meet me where I am. Okay. So if you have a neurodivergent student that's in the 10th grade, how do we reach him? He's on the spectrum. Yeah. How do I create a curriculum, one curriculum, that when he logs in, it's going to find him? Right? That was the problem when we grew up. We had maps. We'd go to the gas station, get a map, and try to figure out, how do I go from Atlanta to Charlotte? Right? But the map didn't know where you were. Right. Not until we got GPS, and GPS could find you. And now in your car, it would give you a route. It would give you a route to your destination. Take a right here, take a left there. And it was non-judgmental. If you got off the route, it just said rerouting. It didn't yell at you. And so I wanted to build something that was that had relevance, that would be non-judgmental, and that could find you. And so what I've learned enough about AI, if you design it the right way, it can find you, and it can customize its responses to you. Where a teacher with 30 students, she can't teach individually, but I got kids. I got 3 kids. Okay. I'm gonna tell you, I can't parent all 3 of them the exact same way. Right. In the business world, we call it situational leadership. But most parents know you have to meet that one kid this way, this other kid this way, and the other kid this other way.
You got to meet them at the point of their need.
Exactly, right? Now you start talking about scaling that. Ooh, that's one of the problems with small businesses. Small businesses can't scale. No, grandmama, you may open a, grandmama soul food restaurant. Only grandmama know the recipes though.
This is true.
You can't duplicate the restaurant across town because she's not there to cook. And she ain't giving the recipes out. So a lot of small businesses can't scale. Having worked for Fortune 500 companies, everything that we did have to be done at scale. Okay. How do we do this across North America? How do we do this globally? So I've been trained to think about how to build organizations that scale, right? Okay. And so I took the idea for Life Be Lifing with the idea of building it so that it could meet any student, any user, anywhere in just a few moments, 30, 45 seconds, find them like GPS and help them navigate life.
Let me ask this. What do you say to the individuals who are fearful of AI, fearful of technology? Some people tend to be a little bit hesitant as technology is coming out and you hear different stuff. And what do you say to that? Because you've definitely taken it. It sounds like the app is being utilized and you're utilizing for a very, very powerful impact. So what do you say to that?
Well, I think naturally, I learned in business school, anytime there's a product innovation, there's a curve that exists about the people who are going to be excited about it in the very beginning. Then there's going to be another group, there's another group, and finally you're going to get people like my mama who are going to join who the last people, you know. I grew up in a family that my grandma made us get off the phone when it started raining.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
She thought it was a correlation between the rain and the phone.
Right.
So I understand that a lot of times we can be hesitant of technology, but and I'm not pushing against that.
Yeah.
I don't need to try to impact everybody year one.
Okay.
Right? I learned in Six Sigma, you don't want to try to boil the ocean. So our first year, we're targeting, 100, 200,000 students.
Okay.
We're trying to boil a pot.
Okay.
And then use continuous improvement, continue to make it better, expand it. Everybody isn't going to jump on the board first. I remember when VCRs first came out. Everybody didn't get a VCR at first.
This is true.
So, sometimes because of cost. Sometimes they thought it was a boogeyman too. Oh, the government gonna be watching me through my VCR. But we understand how eventually people did that.
Yeah.
And almost every technological innovation follows the same thing, whether it be the telephone, the cell phone, beepers, microwaves, computers, gaming systems. AI is going to be the same way. Somebody from our community has to carry the flag, though.
Okay.
Right? Too many times we've been on the consumer side of technology. I grew up, we was going to school in middle school. We were trying to see who had the biggest boom box. I got my first car, man. I thought I was technologically advanced. I had a 6-disc CD change. You couldn't tell me nothing. Yeah. I could hit random, man, and it would randomize through all 6 discs.
Listen, that was a big thing.
That was a big thing, right? But so we have been on the consumer side. Now we're in a situation where I've been working in technology for years.
Okay.
I'm a student now, right? So I'm in build mode. I'm not afraid. Some of us need to understand what the limitations are.
Okay.
Right? Somebody needs to understand what the limitations are, work on those things, and continue to make them better. And then there will be a small group of superintendents or college presidents that are on the cutting edge that say, hey, I want to be a part of that now. I don't want to be last. I want to be first. We've got to find those superintendents. So if you're out there, you're on the cutting edge, and you want to be a part and make an impact early,
reach out.
Reach out.
Let me ask this. What makes this work so vital right now?
As I said, the research has already shown how important mentorship is.
Okay.
I don't have to go solve for that. Delivering it at scale and making it fun. That's one of the things we're learning about in my doctoral studies is behaviorism. That's what all of our games, Candy Crush and all these other games are built on is behaviorism. When you get to a new level, there's a sound, there's coins that flow and animations that go. So it's gotta be fun, right? And it's gotta be relevant. And so that's what we're trying to put in there now too.
Okay.
Right? Behaviorism is one of the 30 of those learning theories that I told you about. So that's what's pushing us now, but we're already thinking about what version 2, version 3, version 4 looks like. So anytime you work in software, you got to be methodical. This is why, when you open your phone, your apps are updating monthly. Yeah. Because they're making changes to it. Constantly, right? And that's the world I'm in now, where there's always going to be a change. There's always going to be a security fix. There's always going to be something that they're tweaking, but you're never going to be on. What version of iPhone are we on now? 17, 18?
Yeah, at least.
Right? So the version we're on now is similar, but it's not the same one as the first one, right? And that's what I had to realize is that you're not going to release something that is going to be perfected over 17 iterations the first time.
Now, I want to ask a question here.
Sure.
You coined the term fragilians.
Yes.
Can you break that down for me? Can you tell me a little bit about what that means?
You're going to bring out the nerd in me, Josh.
Come on, man. Talk to me, man.
So what I'm studying in my doctoral studies is applied learning science.
Okay.
The difference in the doctoral world, a lot of PhDs are generating new theories.
Okay.
Right? Somebody's dissertation may be how to increase AP math scores in African American students. Right? And they're coming up with new theory. I'm in applied learning sciences, which I'm not trying to develop new theories. So there are 4 quotients out there in the world.
Okay.
You've heard of intelligence quotient,
Yes,
IQ.
Sir.
The second one is SQ, which is your social quotient.
Okay.
That's your ability to build friendships, to build networks.
Okay.
Right? EQ is your emotional quotient. Now there's trending out there on the internet, emotional intelligence.
Yes.
That's your ability to know yourself and to know others.
Okay.
On an emotional level.
All right.
Right? Dr. Paul Stoltz developed a 4th Q called adversity quotient.
Okay.
That is your ability to bounce back from adversity when life doesn't go the way you thought it was going to go.
Okay.
And his research showed that out of the 4 quotients, adversity quotient is the one that's highly correlated to high performance.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You show me somebody who's a high performer, I'll show you somebody who has a very high adversity quotient. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Anybody who's Albert Einstein, same thing, right? They're very high on their AQ. So when I read about his research, I pictured a continuum where we have on one end of the continuum, you have fragility. On the other end of this continuum, you have resilience. And I pictured we're all somewhere on that continuum at any given time.
Okay.
Right? You may be a 47, I may be a 32. My kids probably is an 11 because my research I found that resilience falls with every generation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Our grandparents who
That's
came through the Great
interesting.
Depression, highly resilient.
Yeah.
My parents who came through the Civil Rights Movement, highly dependent.
Okay.
Highly resilient. Me, I was a latchkey kid.
Okay.
Come home by myself. Open the door. Can't come outside. My mama come home, Highly resilient. My kids grew up out here in the suburb, not the same.
So let me ask this. In your research, I'm curious, did they say why? Is it that
Necessity.
Necessity, okay.
One of the things we as parents, we want our children to have it better than us.
Okay.
We didn't know it, but somehow, again, in resilience theory, you need to take some of those L's. Some of those L's were necessary for you to develop as a young person to help you when you're an adult. That's why I wrote the book, to help people how to learn. Number one, rebrand the L, as you said. The L is not bad.
Yeah.
You need to understand life is not going to go the way you think it's going to go all the time.
Yeah.
And one of the G's, one of my favorite G's, they're all good. My favorite is grit, because life is going to knock you down.
Okay.
Period. Life be life, and Josh.
Okay.
One thing I can promise you, you can have everything going good in your life, but life is going to life.
Okay.
It's going to knock you down. Getting up is a decision.
Getting up is a decision.
Getting up is a decision. You can wallow in it. You could lay down and feel sorry for yourself, be a victim. But getting up is a decision. I'm getting choked up now. Think about it. There's a poem above the locker room at West Point that we touch every time we leave the locker room. It says, "Fight on, ye merry men. I'm wounded, but I'm not slain. Lay me down and let me bleed for a while. And I'll rise up and I'll fight with you again." And the idea is that I'm wounded, but I'm not slain. Lay me down and let me bleed for a while, but I will rise up and fight with you again.
Mm-hmm.
That ethos has stuck with me because you're going to be wounded.
Indeed.
And sometimes you need a minute.
Indeed.
Sometimes you need a
time out.
Let me gather myself. Sometimes some of these L's would literally take the wind out of you.
Mm-hmm.
You have a parent pass away.
Mm-hmm.
You lose a job. You lose a house.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of these things are just, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's saying that you are somehow immune to it.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, you gotta get up. You got knocked down.
Mm-hmm.
Getting up is a decision.
So, listening to you, a couple of thoughts popped into my head. One, I recall reading an article in Psychology Today many years ago, and it was entitled "A Nation of Wimps," and it was entitled as such. And the article was about the fact that, to your point, parents generally want to make children's lives much easier because they don't stop and look for the lesson in the losses that they took. They feel like, hey, man, I remember the pain of it, but what was the blessing of that loss? What was, the provision that it made for you? How did it shape you? How did it help you in a positive way? And so I'm thinking about this, and as I'm listening to you, I think this is something that adults need as well. Sometimes we need to be reminded of it as well. So I know the app is geared towards mentoring children and young people. Is that exclusive, or is it?
No, we built the app for users from 8 to 80.
Okay.
We're starting with, again, I'm an MBA, right? So MBA, we got customer segments. We're starting with the segment that I know the most, where I have the most relationships. When I'm doing my speaking to young people, I always tell them, your network is your net worth.
Okay.
As long as you got rich people in your network, you should never be broke.
Come on now.
Right? And so, having spent 30 years tied to education, I've got a lot of connections there. So this first year, I'm starting to try to get to scale with the relationships that I have. Right? So we're targeting, again, 4 to 8 school districts. Not trying to boil the ocean, but start there. But understanding that absolutely the app, the platform, I got to stop calling it an app. The platform is actually built for people from 8 years old to 80 years old. Really, the change was, my daughter's a nurse. She's in labor delivery. And I was having this discussion with her one day. I was like, baby, it's so great that you're a nurse. You're really impacting the world. And I'm giving all the rainbows and butterflies things about her job. She said, but yeah, Dad, you don't understand. I said, what's wrong, baby? She said, all the babies aren't born alive.
Ooh.
She said, us as labor delivery nurses, we have to somehow take that home every day and not allow that to cause us not to come back. So she talked to me about all the statistics of how big the burnout rate is in nurses. And she says, you really need to build something for nurses too. Which is really start making me think about, what about nurses? What about firemen? What about policemen? What about teachers?
Yeah.
What about athletes?
Right.
And so that caused me, I had a Noah moment, when I'm studying Noah, I realized Noah could have built a boat just for his family. But his instructions from God was to build an ark that scaled, that he could fit everything in, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what took me a little longer in building the platform, is because I wanted the AI agents to be able to meet people wherever they are, whether they're a nurse, fireman, teacher, chef, professional athlete. I've actually talked to a couple of sports leagues that want, because, they understand coaching.
Oh, absolutely.
They understand even trainers. Most professional athletes have a team of people that they rely on, and they understand how important the mental part of the game is, not just physical. So they're interested in using the app, licensing the app for their athletes. Right? And so me being an entrepreneur, I have to be careful not to take on too much. Not, I'm excited, but I don't want to take on too much. So again, I'm going for impact. I want to go full speed. You call it ISO in the A gap. We're going to run ISO in the A gap. I got to get in the 3-point stance. I got to get full speed in 3 steps. And I got to get in that gap with bad intention. So that's what I'm trying to do.
I love it. One thing I want you to speak to, because I think, when we talk about the subject of mentorship, oftentimes people immediately think children, youth, young folks. How does mentorship change as you age, because I feel like it's necessary as we grow for continued growth and development. I feel like it's necessary to have mentorships. How do you feel like it changes?
Well, you sound like you in my doctoral class. So there's pedagogical, right?
Okay.
And androgyny, which kids versus adults.
Okay.
Adults learners, to your point, are somewhat different than younger students, but at the same time, they're not.
Okay.
Autonomy is very important. That's why you've seen the rise of online classes, because adult learners, now that they are adults, they'll work harder than they did when they were in undergrad, because they were partying and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Had a couple of children, and now you're trying to get a degree.
Yeah.
My mom is my mom was a seamstress. She went back to school and got a nursing degree.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And retired ultimately as a nurse, right? So my daughter became a nurse too, right? So I seen it firsthand how she attacked going to school. She took a lot of L. She had to drop out of school when she had me at 16. Ultimately had to get her GED. But she wanted to prove to herself and the world and her haters or her ops that she was smart. Life just happened. She had a son.
Man, it sounds like this has been birthed in you through the different generations as I'm listening.
Sure.
For your mother to have the resilience to say, hey, I'm not going to let this be a setback.
Sure. I can go back to her father, Adolf Nobles, who had to serve in World War II, but it was a segregated army. All he could do was cook. And I feel like I'm walking in his dreams. I can feel his prayers sometimes, Josh. Literally, it's eerie that what I'm doing now, he prayed about. And so a lot of this is not on me. I'm just walking in his dreams. I literally keep his the flag that he was buried in on my bookshelf every day as kind of a inspiration to me, to let me know that not very long ago, people who looked like me couldn't become a CEO or couldn't lead a Fortune 500 company or couldn't attend this school or couldn't do these things, the things that he couldn't do that now we're able to do. And we carry a certain amount of responsibility to be audacious. It's I've been guilty of this, wanting to play in the back. There's no time for that now. These problems that we're trying to solve, that you've got people who are trying to solve it from the pulpit, you got teachers trying to solve it from the classroom, you got entrepreneurs trying to be, we're all trying to help out and fix a problem from our different lanes and our different gifts. And God's getting the increase, right? And so my thing is to stay in your lane, man, and keep your head down and go full speed.
Go full speed, brother. I'm curious, what do you think, and this is going back just a little bit, I'm thinking generationally. Like I started the episode by saying that, oftentimes each generation, and how I understand why, because the resilience of the older generations, it's real, based off of what you're saying. Because, we like, man, they always talk about this stuff. They act like they was the toughest people.
Walking to school.
In
the snow, uphill each way. Yeah.
You hear all of that stuff. So I look and I think that in that sometimes as an older generation, we sometimes get caught up in chastising the younger generation, being overly harsh or overly critical to them, not necessarily understanding that they don't have the same level of resilience that we have. So what would you say that the older generation or older men are misunderstanding? What are they misunderstanding about the younger generation that creates this disconnect?
Going back to Sawubona.
Go for it.
You got to see them.
Mm.
It's not about you. You've got to see that YN. You've got to see that young man and meet him where he's at.
Okay.
It's not important that he meet you where you're at. You got to go meet him. I see you. You're right. That is a fundamental disconnect, not just in our personal discourse, but in education in general. Like it is an epidemic. That's why sometimes they've thrown out SAT and ACT scores it's because they weren't relevant. They weren't seeing you. And so I've had to do that with my own kids.
Okay.
Stop comparing them to what I went through. I grew up in a different world. It's not their fault. It's my fault. I brought them out here in the suburbs. It's not their fault. They're like, man, you soft. You don't understand. I had one pair of tennis shoes. I would never let my child have one pair of tennis shoes. You know what I'm saying? He got several pair of Jordans and whatnot, but I did that.
So speak to that father, that older gentleman right now that is doing that. Because I have guys that'll come in, they'll sit down in the chair, and oftentimes that's what I hear. That's what they're expressing. Man, I was this and that. And so what would you say to them? How would you help them? You said you had to pivot and you had to readjust with your children and how you showed up with them in this way. What advice would you give to them?
I would say that you have more days behind you than days you have in front of you. If you want to impact the community, it's not about you. You had your time. You went through undergrad. You was that man on the yard. You played ball. You did this and that. But it's not about you now. You've lived enough experiences where you have wisdom. And King Solomon said that wisdom is more precious than gold. But it's not wisdom if you die with it. There's got to be some kind of transfer of wealth.
Say that again.
And you can't transfer wealth if you can't connect. You can't connect if you don't meet. So that's why I say you got to meet them where they are. You got to make a connection. Stop this comparison. That's one of the biggest problems that we have with the social media now is social comparison. That's where depression and anxiety live and thrive is because young people are comparing themselves to these influencers that they see on social media, and the people are lying. They're only showing you their highlight.
Boy, look here now.
These older gentlemen that you're talking to, all the good stuff they're talking about, they only sharing their highlight reels. Share your L. You know, the Bible says, the Apostle John said that, in the end days that they overcame the enemy by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony.
Yes, sir.
Stop preaching. Give your testimony. Back in the day, we used to have testimony service in church.
Yes, sir. I grew up in that time.
They don't testify no more. They just, want to laugh, dance, and sing. And I'm for all of that. But your testimony is very important. That's why groups like Alcoholics Anonymous and other 12-step programs, they're so successful over the years because they come there every meeting, every day, every week with humility. So if you're going to be a mentor, if you're going to give back, you've got to start with humility. Share your L. Share your worst L. How did life knock you down? What made you get up? What did you learn from the whole experiences? I raised 2 quarterbacks, as you know, and I would tell them now, throwing an interception is part of it. But you can't let that shake you. You got to have a short memory, let that go, get in the huddle, call the next play. And that's one of the things we have to do as the unks with the gray hair in our beard now. We've got to have a short memory and say, hey, that was my time. Now it's time for this next generation to show up and show out and for us to support them. So
I'm curious because I wholeheartedly believe in sharing your testimony and sharing your stories. That is part of the ethos that built this platform that we are. It's the reason we're sitting here having these conversations and allowing individuals like yourself to share your stories. You wrote a book full of stories. How did you get past the initial maybe shame that some people may feel when they tell a story. Some people look back on something and they know it happened, but hey, do I want to share this with everybody? You know, I do think there's power in it. Was there something that you did? Was there something that helped you? Because sometimes we can feel.
Ooh, that's tough for Josh.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. Writing that book was very difficult. I still struggle reading that first chapter myself because it was so painful. But if you're gonna walk with God, you know, if you're gonna claim that you're a person, if you're a man of faith, faith without works is dead.
Okay.
And I believe that, you know, in the Bible it said faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I think faith in action is what we call, in the modern times, we call audacity.
Okay.
So there's got to be a certain gravitas towards you. There got to be a certain audacity that you kind of flex a little bit.
Okay.
And say, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna run through this A gap, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it hard. And ultimately, that's what led me to pull the trigger. I had been sensing that I was being led to do it for years, but I was always too busy.
Okay.
I was always, I got to fly here, I got to fly there, I got to fly to Toronto for this car, I got to do this. So God said, okay, how about you retired now? What's up? You know? And if you've been walking with God, you know, God will get your attention.
Oh, absolutely.
You can be hard-headed, but God got my attention to where I said, okay, I got it, you know? But the satisfaction, God didn't just leave me there. He reminded me, you've done it. I felt like, you know, not to call myself Jordan, but I got 6 rings. I got every ring. Like every corporate award you could win, I won. Like I've been salesperson of the year, manager of the year, executive of the year, all these things. I was recently inducted to my high school Hall of Fame. God said, you did it. Now go do something with it. And that's ultimately, that's what that pushed me, that I realized that it was time for me to step away from the game, the corporate game, and allow my talents to be used in a way that would have impact at scale.
I love it. I got 2 more questions for you. One, what would you say we need to do as a community to support this? I think mentorship is powerful. If someone is listening and they're trying to figure out how they can get involved or what they need to be able to do you have any suggestions?
Sure. Connect with me. I mean, I'm looking to build, again, I build teams, right? So I'm looking for people to partner with me, to connect with me, because I don't have all the answers. I mean, I'm an engineer, I'm a business student, I'm a great football player, but you know, I'm not a mental health therapist.
Yeah.
I realize my strengths and I realize my weaknesses. So I want to build a community of people who want to impact.
Okay.
Right? And who want to see how we could continuously make the platform better. Okay. Right? There's always going to be improvements, as I was telling you earlier. And I'm not the type of guy that thinks, oh, I got all the answers. I don't. And so if they want to connect, I'm on LinkedIn, author Danny White. Okay. I'm on all the social medias. You can Google me, author Danny White. My contact information is there. 770-331-3536 is my phone number. Okay. Reach out to me directly because one thing that's important, study physics, is momentum.
Absolutely.
So once something starts, it's easier to keep it going. And so we're going to keep the momentum up geographically, district by district. Once we get these school districts at scale, we're going to go the individual route for other people to be able to use it. But right now, it's about building community.
Okay. I'm going to ask this question, man.
Sure.
If a nephew is listening And they out there and they ain't got no mentor. They're without a mentor.
Sure.
If an Unc is listening,
sure,
he's unsure how to step up.
Sure.
What would you say to both of them?
Ooh. I would say to both of them, life be life.
Okay.
I can guarantee you that.
Mm-hmm.
And that for the nephew that's out there, set your expectation down to where you expect life to life.
Okay.
If you were a quarterback and you going against Deion Sanders, I would say Deion Sanders is good now. Tell me, he is good. He don't have to prove to you he good now. He's good. He's great. He's world class. And life is world class at lifing. So set your expectation level to where you're not shook. Oh, my goodness. A company laid me off. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I got a bad report from the doctor. That's what they do. 90% of life is how you respond.
Okay.
Right? If you're an Unc, life be lifing. As us with the gray hair, we understand, you keep going to the doctor, they find stuff wrong. What are they going to say about you at your funeral? This comes from Stephen Covey's Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. He wrote, begin with the end in mind.
Absolutely.
So I would tell the Unc, as life is lifing for you, what do you want your obituary to say? How do you want them to describe how you impacted the community, how you transferred your wisdom to the next generation? Who do you want to speak? Which YN do you want to get up there and speak on your behalf? That's what I was saying.
Now, I'm going to leave you with one thing.
Okay.
What challenge do you have to everybody that's listening right now? You give it one challenge, one thing that you can say, hey, take this as one step to help build your resilience. Whether that's something building gratitude, grit,
I would say gratitude. Gratitude is the first G. Okay. If you do nothing else, but wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude. I could use academic language. I could use hood language. T.I. says, stop worrying about what you don't got, worry about what you do got. You can be grateful for anything. You can be grateful for the sun coming up in the morning, for the birds chirping, for the air that's flowing through your nostrils. Once I became a parent, on my 22nd birthday, my daughter was born. I didn't finish telling that story. When I left West Point, 2 weeks after I got home, my daughter was born on my birthday. God was winking at me, letting me know I was transitioning from soldier to father. Being a father changed my perspective in a way that anytime something bad happens to me, I think about the fact that there's somebody somewhere picking out a casket for a child. And no matter how bad my day is, they would trade places with me in a minute. And it all of a sudden gives context and perspective to what I thought because I made a bad grade in school or, somebody cut me off in traffic or whatever the speed bump of problems that I think I'm having. There's somebody out there having a much worse day than you, and you need to be grateful for where you are. I'm grateful for your lot in life and how God has brought you to be where you are now. And be present. Be where your feet are. Be grateful for where you are right now is my challenge to everyone out there. That's the very first G that I wrote about that has been a foundation in my life. And hopefully it will bless you as it's blessed me.
Danny White, it has been my pleasure. I appreciate you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, man. This is The Authentic Exchange. I'm your host, Josh Bird.
Authentic exchange where the vibes gon' flow. Truth Truth on the table, let the real one show. Hearts speak loud, no facades, just raw. Seen it, heard, breaking down every flaw. Law, we connect in a space where the souls collide, bringing light to the shadows we used to hide. This the town, is a place where we rearrange. What we building right here is an authentic exchange. Moving through change, like rivers through stone. Every word a step, every thought's a home. Communication sharp, like blades on chrome. It's connection that glows, never standing alone. How the rhythm aligns with the stories untold. Breaking old molds, turning lead into gold. Every voice a thread in the fabric we weave. In this dialogue we build, man, we gotta believe. We connect.